Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Chet Chats. We are live on Instagram as well as on Facebook. Happy second Thursday of August. Yeah, we're already halfway through August. Before we jump into today's topic, we have our special shout outs to give to our sponsors.
Yes, I'd like to thank Lyric Party Gang for supporting us in our endeavors. I'm short today, Sean.
Oh, yeah, that was a quick one.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure everything is a go here for us. How are you doing this morning, Dad?
I can't complain. Thanks for asking. How you feeling? My physical came back excellent, so that's a good thing.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'm here, so there's that. Per usual, y'all.
Did you really care?
If I always care. If your comment goes through and I don't catch it, please forgive me. These things go kind of quickly. But today's topic, Dad, we're halfway, well, actually, we're more than halfway through the third quarter of 2021. Meaning, if you break them up into 3 months intervals, we only have
4 months.
4 months intervals. Yeah. Well, yeah, but there's 3 months in each interval is what I was referencing.
I apologize.
It's okay. But
my mind with the math, so it was like.
But we are more than halfway done the third quarter of this year.
Wow.
So with that being said, my topic today that I am springing upon you is new beginnings. And so I'll start with my first question.
Okay, new beginnings.
Is there in your opinion, is there a right time to start a new beginning?
Let me say, because I don't think it's a right or wrong time.
Okay.
I just think it's a time where you understand yourself better, you understand your situations better, and I think that's when you should start a new beginning. Mm-hmm. You know, from what I'm believing, what you mean by a new beginning, like starting over in something.
Well, what does new beginning mean to you?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm about to ask you. New beginning to me, when I hear the word new beginning, is to start fresh in something better.
Okay.
More improvement in areas or a area of your life to better fulfill your happiness. That's what a new beginning would mean to me. Please, people, as always, feel free to chime in. Give us your thoughts as well. I just gave you my thought on what a new beginning is. And again, each person might have a different definition of what it means to them to start a new beginning. But I think it's important not to get stuck in positions of the past, in my opinion. You know, because oftentimes when people I see they get stuck, especially by me coaching now. I get to see a lot more understanding of how people can just lay in something that's not necessarily positive for the betterment of their future. But for some odd reason, they don't have the tools to be able to get out of their own way, I call it. Okay. And so me as assistant someone in coaching is to give them the proper tools so then they can maybe navigate through that. So I just noticed when a lot of people, I use the word stuck, that might not be a clinical term or whatnot, but I do use the word stuck where they just can't seem to get over the hump if they felt that it'd been done wrong by a person, by the job, by outside forces. So they just seem that it's can't be repaired or it can't be fixed, and I think it can, in my personal opinion. So what do you believe in? Do you believe in new beginnings, or how do you feel? I'm reversing the question.
Every time I ask you a question, I never am ready.
Because I gotta reverse it when I gotta put it back on. Yes, people.
Okay, what was the question again? What do I think your new beginning?
Your new beginning, yes, not someone else.
This is a really great question. Whoever thought of it is a genius. But
you hear that, people? Give them a shout out.
Okay, so it's per usual as a complicated question to me because for me, and I just got a new planner. So okay. I think in terms of planning calendar years. Okay. But I have recently, and there's a point, I'll circle back. There's a point
circle back. Take time. We got time.
I have recently been questioning, when do years start? Do they start in January and end in December? Or in the school system, we always started school in August and then we end in June. So really, which layout is the quote unquote correct layout. When does the year actually begin? And I say that to say, because in questioning like what is a new beginning to me, is it like, do new beginnings start on the calendar year, or do they just start randomly?
Are you asking me that question, or you ask yourself that question?
This is what I asked myself. Well, in trying to answer your question, that was my initial thought. So
okay.
I guess for me, I don't know. I don't really know what new beginnings are. I think that a lot of times they happen without us really knowing that they are happening.
Right. Okay. I mean, for me, I believe I started a new beginning when I came back into y'all lives, because again, yes. So for me, that was a new beginning, or chapter, as they like to call them, you know, chapters in the book that you're reading. So for me, I thought that was a new beginning. But now, as y'all get older, and then I was able to have all of y'all together at one time, that was a new beginning, because I haven't had that in a long time with y'all. You know, so for me, I personally believe new beginnings I don't think it's a calendar year, nor a season. I just think it's when you decide in your mind to participate in bettering yourself. See, because that's what the new beginnings for me are. You don't want to begin something and then it starts or turns into what it used to be beforehand.
Right.
Because that's not where you wanted to go in certain subject matters or certain areas of your life. So a new beginning is to try to improve upon yourself and others around you. That's what I would take.
Okay, so then my question is, if that is the case, then isn't every day a new beginning?
Yes, it can be. Someone had a quote and it said, every day you wake up, you have a choice and a chance.
I like that.
I like that too. I can't think of the gentleman that said the quote, but it was on an Instagram feed or whatnot. And I really believe that. Every day God gives you to wake up, you have a chance and a choice. And what you do with your chance and choice potentially dictates what happens tomorrow. So your new beginning can actually be every day. But when I look at certain things, and when you say new beginning, it's like, what am I trying to accomplish? Like, I'm trying to accomplish being a well-rounded person. So that would be my new beginning in that aspect of my life, and doing all the things I think is necessary to become a better, well-rounded person. So that would be my new beginning. I don't know if it has end dates on it or not, you know, because you maybe never perfected it. You know how I always talk about 10,000 man hours. That's just to be proficient, and that's what they say. Meaning, you know, the scientists and people that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna read some of these comments that are coming through on our Facebook Live page. We have new beginnings can start at any time. I think that the season in a relationship is determined by the person involved. You can decide. And then they asked, are you reading their thoughts?
I might be.
Same wavelength today.
Same wavelength, and that positive energy.
If y'all are just tuning in, today's topic is new beginnings. What are new beginnings? When do new beginnings start? All thoughts and comments surrounded by that. So please definitely feel free to leave your comments and your thoughts pertaining to today's topic.
So when you finish, because you know you have complex answers sometimes.
Yeah.
So when you finish, because I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off.
Okay.
Honestly, probably not, but also, like, my thoughts just go in loops a lot, too. So, you know, it's hard to really say if the whole thought was
So
there.
have you ever felt a new beginning in something? Because, like, I shared a couple examples of my new beginnings in the area.
I want to say yes, but...
People, get it.
The way that okay, so I am a person who I question everything, even when there are things that there are solidified answers for.
Please no, she do.
I still question it because I'm not trying to be a difficult person, but I'm challenging the things that they say are factual versus what I can believe to be someone's opinion, but they're now saying that it's facts, right? That's just me.
Right.
So for me, in questioning, do I think I have new beginnings? Absolutely. But am I positive now that they are new beginnings? I'm really not sure. Because when I thought of this question is when I was thinking, when is the next season for new beginnings for me? Which is why I posed the question today. So I think, I think in terms of my new beginnings, I'd probably say starting the school years have always been like a new beginning. And then writing is new beginning. So to answer your question in short, yes, I have had new beginnings.
So do you do a New Year's resolution, or do you just wait and do a resolution whenever it comes to your mind? Because often, and the reason I ask that, because often people, you know, at the end of the year, after the holidays pass and then the New Year's itself pass, they then say, hey, I got these New Year's resolutions I'm going to try to achieve through the next year. Mm-hmm. So do you do that, or you don't have New Year's resolutions, or you just have a resolution when you wake up and say, hey, I want to accomplish that?
Okay, so what I'm about to say next is not sponsored by any of our sponsorships.
You hear that sponsorship?
It's not the thoughts or views or anything, but I believe New Year's resolutions are a bull. And you
heard it first, people, on chats. That Shy says New Year's resolutions are bull. I'm glad you kept with the bull, because we don't have nobody to cut off if you use another adjective.
So I say that because for me, I don't think that there's a point in waiting until the new calendar year, the new year, to start something that you want to start achieving now.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So
I don't think you shouldn't make. I think you should make certain plans.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the betterment of your greatness. I do believe that. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe you should wait to a calendar year or the end of the year or any time where somebody say, hey, this is when you should start this programming over. I think it should start when you feel it in yourself. I think it should start when you had a support system around you, potentially, to help you get further in your greatness. So I concur with you on that sentiment. I'm just glad you did not use an adjective that we couldn't beep out. That's
it's just kind of silly to me, and there's no shade or anything towards people who do wait until the new year to have goals and to achieve those goals. But what you are saying, it's like, yes, when you feel it, I think that's when you should act on it. Right. Act on it meaning set your game plan to do it, not act on it as in like impulsively do it and then possibly destroy other things in the process. But with that being said, I do think that so today's not promised to you. The next hour, minutes, seconds aren't promised. And a lot of people have this thought and mentality that, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow, or, oh, I'll wait till the new year because the new year will be there. But it might not be. And we don't know. No one ever knows. So why not just start?
Absolutely. You are right. Start now, so when the years start, you're already running in it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good brother that gave that his thoughts. I concur with that, because tomorrow's not promised, as we seem to be vibing on the same wavelength today. And I appreciate that. I love this. I love when the energy positive. I love when we're able to get people further down the road, as we call it, into their greatness. Because at the end of the day, it's about you achieving greatness within yourself and within the people you love around you. So I do concur with everybody as far as the comments that I can see, that don't start tomorrow, start today. Start as you watch this podcast, perhaps. If it's something that's on your mind and it affected you positively, start today. If it's not effective, help me out.
Affecting you
positive. Maybe you want to. Thank you. Maybe you want to reconsider that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I know that's not a fact, but you may want to reconsider.
I just want to read this one comment from our Instagram live.
Okay.
My New Year's goals is make a list, cross them off as you get them accomplished. You can start new beginnings or programs and time throughout your year. Today over tomorrow. Tomorrow is never promised.
Okay.
So again, another alignment.
So that's a good topic you picked. Maybe your energy was causing you to come with this new beginning.
I don't know, man. I just got a lot of thoughts in my brain.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Would you like to share any of them?
No, it's okay. We'd be here all day.
Okay.
Probably all week or even all month. So
that is correct. You should if you can only know off the air the type of questioning that she's questioning me, and she challenges me every day to become a better father and a better man and a better person to this society. So I appreciate that. All the times I do not have the answers that she's in search of, perhaps, or don't agree with everything that I have to say. So that's why I love her openness and understanding of her greatness and finding facts, because she will challenge your opinion all the time, people. And please, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm being honest.
It's never a personal thing. Even if I agree with what it is that you are saying, I do still challenge it because I'm trying to broaden the thought process.
And that's so crazy because I do that naturally with people.
Yeah.
Like I was over somebody's house the other day, and I can agree with people often, but to have intellectual conversation, I take the opposite side of the spectrum. And not necessarily that I believe that spectrum, but I just take it so we can engage in open, beautiful communication with each other. Because oftentimes, in my opinion, when you get the persons or you with a group of people and y'all had the same agreements on things, that makes boring conversation. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have agreements on things in positive light, but I just like, for some odd reason, my whole life, I think that if I hear everybody saying yes, 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 I'll take no, but I believe in the yes, but I still just take the no so we can engage in conversation, not arguments, conversations.
Yeah.
So that's what did I pass it? Is that inherited?
I have no idea. I'm really unsure, but that's good to know.
Oh, okay, yeah, because now that you say that, I noticed myself. I did it the other day when we were having a subject matter with some friends, and I just came out left field with what I was saying, and they looked at me like, Chet is losing his mind. Yeah, I'm sorry, people. Let's get back to I'm sorry. I was about to sidebar the show and everything.
If you're just tuning in, today's topic is new beginnings. When do new beginnings start? What is a new beginning? What do that look like? What does that look like to you? So, as always, please leave your comments and your thoughts pertaining to this topic down below. Or your thoughts and questions and whatnot pertaining to something else that you'd like us to discuss in a further episode. That's also okay.
Or things that we already discussed in earlier episodes. Please feel free. Like we said, this is a platform to try to inform and light. Bring a likeness to the greatness within yourself. I believe my daughter always picks the subject matter. I think she maybe let me pick it one time, and I don't know if we had a lot of people tune in when I picked it. So we're leaving the picking to her because it seemed to be more productive in this chat show. So now, when you talk to your friends, do you find, because oftentimes I believe people don't start new beginnings because of procrastination or not being responsible to what they want to achieve. Have you talked to your friends about this or anything, or how do you feel about that?
That's interesting. I think that this is the psychology part of my brain working. I think that with procrastination, there's a lot of times comes anxiety. Like a lot of procrastinators actually have either diagnosed or undiagnosed anxiety. So the reason that they procrastinate is because when you're an anxious person, and again, just speaking from experience, you have this need to want it to be perfect and you want it to all go right. So in the belief that it has to be perfect, we procrastinate because we don't know if it's going to end up being perfect.
Oh, that's an interesting point, people.
So I say that piece.
And to cut you, not to mean to cut you off, but when I was growing up, people put procrastination as being lazy.
Yeah.
But now that you just, I see, now that you open my mind to it, because we would say, oh, that person being lazy. That they don't want to accomplish anything. But now that you gave me the definition, perhaps with the anxiety piece, that may be one of the reasons people do procrastinate. So go on. I was
going to say, so I don't necessarily think that a lot of times it's the procrastination piece as much as there's a fear factor in starting new things.
Okay. So you think, and again, you might can answer or might not, but do you think by them wanting to start something new, they get fearful that it's not going to turn out the way they want?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
so that keeps them in a holding pattern. Wow.
But I mean, it is scary. Like starting new things is scary, and a lot of people have issues with change, and that's not a bad thing to have issues with change, but it's a matter of knowing that the only constant thing in life is change.
I agree, and that's what I'm about to say. So a new beginning, you should want to embrace a new beginning.
1,000%.
Okay.
But I do think that in that is going back to what you were saying, is you have to mend the pieces of your past and the previous chapters of your life in order to continue to progress and move forward to get to those new beginnings. So as far as talking to my friends about it and whatnot, I do think that a lot of it comes from not knowing. Like a lot of people fear the unknown of things, which is why small tangent, but a lot of people fear death because they don't understand it.
Right. But I got a little small tangent too, because it popped up in my mind when you're starting a new friendship or relationship with someone, please do your best to throw that old luggage away, because you might miss out on something great in the future. Yes, pay attention to what's going on in the friendship relationship, because oftentimes we briefly talked about it a couple of weeks when the children were here. People bring their representative in the beginning of a relationship, and then that's not who they truly are. Needless to say, still be open-minded and not bring all your old luggage and thoughts and understandings in something new, because it could potentially be your new beginning with someone. Do some people have certain traits that others have? Absolutely. But so many animals that God made on this earth, so we can all have certain traits of the other person in some sort. But that not necessarily means that that's the body of work of that person. So please, if you're starting a new beginning in a relationship, this is my opinion. This is not Shah's or Chet's. It's Chet's opinion.
Or his sponsorships.
Or my sponsorship. Yeah, I gotta say that. Please try to start your new beginning with a clear sheet, clear canvas, clear open mind that person wasn't the last person. And I think you might have a better outcome as you move forward. Yes, pay attention, because yes, most people bring their representative in the first 3 to 4 months of a friendship or a potential relationship. Why are you laughing?
I smart because there's psychologists who say that the reason a lot of relationships end after 3 or 4 months is because by that point the people are tired of faking it and wearing this decoy version of themselves. So by the time you get to the 4th, 5th month, that's the real person that you are engaged with.
Wow, you heard it first on Chet Chats from Cheyenne.
That's all I was smiling for, because I was like, that's really interesting, but they're just aligned again. Today, y'all, maybe you should go play the lottery today. I don't know, but the universe is aligning today, and all of these connections we're making, it's incredible.
Absolutely. I don't suggest potentially gambling your mortgage away or anything like that, but if you have $1 or $2 to spare, perhaps.
I'm just going to read this comment really quickly from our Facebook Live. Amen, and if I might add, each person on the planet should take the time to undergo therapy for self-healing. We are advocates of therapy over here.
Absolutely. I've been myself. I go occasionally when I don't understand, so I can potentially get the tools necessary to better myself. So I'm definitely an advocate of it. When I was younger, we was taught not to go because it was considered you were quote unquote crazy. And then oftentimes I think that hindered a lot of my friends growing up, because no one wanted that negative stigma of being quote unquote crazy.
Which is still there, but I will also say that there are multiple different forms of therapy aside from just talking to someone who is a professional. But there are tons of therapies. There's creative therapy, there's things that you like to do that people would consider therapy, to anything really that distresses you from the things that are stressing you.
Absolutely, and that's why I got into coaching. It is a form of therapy,
yeah.
a form of therapy as well. I shameless plug people, but I had to do it.
But speaking of Dad's coaching stuff, really quickly, that is a new beginning for you as well.
Yes.
So you should also get on your new beginning, and if you need some assistance, we have a great coach here that you guys probably already know. So
thank you for plugging me.
See how that
universal flow? It's all flowing. It's all connecting. And I appreciate everyone that continues to tune in on Instagram as well as Facebook. I can't think enough to really say thank you. I mean, I'm sorry, I'll just get emotional sometimes when my thoughts of happiness are in play. So,
I was just making sure I didn't miss any comments.
Oh, okay. I'm like, did you have something else you wanted to say?
No, I didn't have a thought.
Okay, because we definitely big advocates of seeking help. And again, people, oftentimes I know you want to seek help with somebody that you trust, and I get that. And I understand it, because trust is hard to receive or get these days. So, but oftentimes people, when you're talking to certain people, they might be a little biased because of the unconditional love that they have for you. So you might want to just keep that in mind when talking to others. It's not that they don't want you to have the best outcome, but they might sometimes be a little biased in their answering of your questions because of the love they have for you. So normally when a therapist or a coach or someone else, they're trying to just get you the best possible result because they have no stake in how you may feel about them. Because that often happens when people, that's why they don't seek help. They just go to their friends and say, hey, what do you think? And oftentimes your friend going to give you a biased answer because they care for you. Yeah, because they're your friend. And I'm not saying that's wrong, but oftentimes we don't get a real answer sometimes in certain situations.
Or an alternative answer. Yeah.
Bingo. And that's what it's about, having choices to choose from. And that's the power of knowledge, in my opinion. And that's definitely a start to a new beginning when you have understanding. And I really like the quote that the gentleman came up with. You got two things. When you wake up, if God grants you the privilege of waking up, you got what did he say?
I don't remember.
A chance and a choice.
Chance and
C and C, so I won't forget that.
That's a good one.
Yes. So people, when you wake up, just know you have a chance, and then you have a choice when you wake up in everything you do. So any closing remarks? Because I know your schedule. Because people, don't let her fool you. She's very busy. I appreciate her taking the time out to help me with this chat, but she has things to do. So thank you for always giving me 30 minutes of your time. A little bit more than 30 minutes, of course, but as far as that podcast.
Well, thank you. And thank you all for joining us on Thursdays with Chet Chats. Really any day that we come on the air, because we've switched some days here and there.
Yes.
But
scheduling.
I was just gonna say that a quote that, I don't know, it came to me like in thin air, and it might be one of my poems. I don't really know where it connects for that. Okay. But that I have recently been living by is jump and trust that you'll fly. And I say that to say that while new beginnings are scary, and as someone who still embraces change but doesn't necessarily love change, that sometimes you just have to jump and just trust the process and trust that whatever will be is going to be. So
you heard it first.
Leave y'all with that little piece of information.
Jump potentially without a parachute,
and trust that you'll fly.
And trust that you will fly.
I believe in God, so I'm a big believer that while yes, we have free will and that we do dictate what happens to us, at the end of the day, we have a higher being that is going to make sure we stay on course for us. Whether that's a positive thing that happens next or a negative thing, it's just what it is. So trust the process.
Trust the process.
As I say, with that being said,
yeah, I love it. I mean, I can't go above trusting the process.
With that being said, thank y'all per usual for tuning in on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Now that we have that also up and running, next week we will be here for y'all. I'm not positive on the time yet, so I will make a follow-up post to let y'all know when we're coming back on the air. But we will be here next Thursday. I hope y'all have an amazing day. Jump and trust that you will fly, and we will catch y'all next week.
Peace.